Hey, welcome to another episode of Beers, Jack of Barbecue. So today, doing something we haven't done before, is a whole brisket. So I got a nice brisket from the butcher. They trimmed it up some. I did a little more trimming to it, getting some of the hard fat off. Left some fat on. I seasoned the other side already. Got the grill set up. Gonna run it. Probably my method of doing a brisket's a little bit. They do the hot and fast. They do the low and slow. Mine, I kind of put it on at a lower temperature, maybe like a normal temperature, say 225, and let that slowly rise as the day goes on, getting some good smoke on it, and then hopefully when it hits around 160 or so, the bark will be set. I usually wrap it at that point, let it come up to about 198 or so before I unwrap it and actually try to get just to dry out a little bit on the grill, and then I bring it off. Also, once I wrap it, I've seen others do it too, and I've been doing it to my briskets when I cook them, is I'll take some beef broth and add it to my aluminum foil when I go to wrap this up and let it kind of, I don't let it really steam in there because I wrap it pretty tight, but I let that juice in there, and then it kind of creates its own juice from once it starts breaking down more, and I save all that for a good au jus for later on. So far, like I said, I did season it. So one of the seasons we like to use is the Kosmo Cow Cover Hot, is one of my favorites. Like I said, I did the other side and the sides already. So I'm going to put a light coat of that, and then this new one I've got a few weeks ago is Killer Hogs all-purpose seasoning. So just basically salt, pepper, garlic, and again another good seasoning to be on here. So that's going to be what we do today. Next thing we're going to do is going to just throw it in the grill. I have it set up complete indirect cooking. I do have a water pan in there. I don't always use a water pan when I do a brisket, but today I thought I'd throw one on there. It's just a real shallow one with some water in it for the beginning of the cook. Kind of let it make sure it's real even. It is windy outside. I am probing the grill in the back, and I'm going to probe the meat the whole time. Just want to make sure that that wind isn't affecting any temperatures throughout the grill. Kamado Joe Big Joe usually runs real smooth no matter what the weather is out there. So we'll see you out in the grill. All right, so we're gonna throw it on the grill. Like I said, it was running right around 243, which is perfect, right where I want it. I'm gonna let it come up to temperature a little higher as the cook goes on. It's a beautiful looking brisket. I typically get my briskets from Costco, and around here they only have flats. So I went and made sure I got one from the butcher, and he gave me a nice one. All right, so the brisket's been on about 4.5 hours. I'm gonna actually wrap it now. It's just reached about 160 degrees. Get the wires out of the way. I made up some beef broth with some Montreal Seasoning in it, a little bit of garlic, the all-purpose seasoning that we put on it for the rub. And I'm going to wrap it now. Let's take the probe out. I'll just reset that probe through the aluminum foil. I'm going to wrap it as tight as I can get it without losing the juice there. Set the probe back in, and I'm actually going to cover the whole thing again with another coat of aluminum foil to keep that heat in there. All right, so we're gonna actually let the grill come up a little bit higher. It's running around 280 right now. We're gonna let it come up a little over 300 while this continues to cook. We're gonna be shooting probably for 198 before I pull it back off of here. All right, gonna check everything out. Thermometer's saying about 200 degrees for the brisket. You can see how windy it is here. I'm gonna kind of get a feeling for. Yeah, we got a ways to go yet. That's feeling pretty tender, but the rest needs to go yet. So, gonna let it cook for a while yet. Just kind of this way. I'm actually gonna pull it out of here and put it back on the grill. Gonna save all that good juice. Get another area for a reading here. All right, we'll be back a little bit later, checking it out. All right, so the brisket should be done. It's looking nice. Yeah, it's kind of like almost like butter when you poke into this thing. That's what you want with this. I'm gonna take it inside and wrap it up. And we'll do a little taste test in there. We'll see you inside. As always, cheers. So here we are, first brisket we actually shot. Like I said, we're a two-man crew and we're trying to figure out logistics of how to do the real long cook. Put this on around 10 o'clock this morning, pull it off around 4:45, let it sit about a half hour, and I'm gonna cut into it. We're actually headed to some friend or to Jack's house to feed a few people tonight. So started with this, it was about an 8 to 10 pound brisket. Season it, use some Kosmo Q's cow cover hot and some Killer Hogs AP all-purpose rub on this. Put on the grill, had the grill run about 250 degrees, left it there about 2 hours, and then I let the temperature rise up a little bit as it went on. About 160 degrees, we wrapped it. I put beef broth on it, put it in an aluminum pan so it contained everything, and actually wrapped it pretty tight so it wasn't steaming it, it was just still heating it up in there. Once it hit close to 200, pulled it off, put it back on the grill, let it do its thing until it actually got to about 205 degrees, until it was tender enough for me to poke through pretty easily. So we're gonna cut into it. I'm looking like the grain is going this way, so I'm gonna take a piece off the side here. Make sure I have the grain going the right way. Boy, is it nice and falling apart. That's what you want. So you can see the, wow, it just pulls apart. Taking a second bite, this one. Boy, that has fantastic flavor. That you can definitely tell the garlic for the all-purpose seasoning. I really am liking that rub. Been using that just a few different times now. Really turns out nice. This thing's going to be great. So, like we were seeing, subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell, get notification every time we put something out. Tell your friends, and hopefully we're going to do some other longer cooks along the way. So we'll see you next time.